Safety car still on the track at Hidden Valley in Darwin, and it's probably, for all of their safety, really, the Ute guys got stuck into it in the first lap. And this was a replay of the start with Craig Donis in the Thirsty Camel Commodore. He'd end up getting elbow wide a little bit further on, Stevie Johnson, but have a look at the start here and have a look how close it is. When you put 31 Utes down in the first corner, they don't all make it out safely.
No, and, you know, if they did,
miracle.
It would be a miracle, absolutely.
And this is Donis. Things are looking okay here. There's the first hit.
Gets tapped.
He picks it all up and gets going. I'm okay. Wait, bang, there's another one. Yep. And there's some grass.
As soon as you get out wide here, the first corner, you're gone. You're not going to recover.
This is why the safety car's out. Peter Burnett ended up off the road and got buried here in the sand trap. And this was Jeremy Gray a couple of corners earlier.
Bit of wildlife there trying to get out of the way.
Did a good job too.
It did.
And he ended up sideways with a tap after contact with Chris Walton, and more magpies trying to get out of the way. Ends up tapping the tyre bundle and made it all the way in, but he is out of this one. Peter Burnett's car has been extracted from the gravel trap and he's rejoined down the back, but it's Jared McLeod who will lead us back to the restart. Ben Dunn second from Stephen White, then Chris Walton, and the pole man Glenn McNally next. And while I've said that, Jeremy Gray's still going, and you know his nickname? Lost it. I think he's lost it.
Look at all these people on the fence. They're going, is he going to hit?
Yeah.
He's going to hit. Watch this. Well, I'm watching the people's reactions.
In slow motion.
What a great shot.
Not the sort of damage that he needs. Now, lights are off on the Petters Chrysler STP safety car. It will head back to the lane, and Jared McLeod will be handed control of this field. Someone needs to keep them under control, but big mover has been the reigning champion, Ryle Harris. He started 16th on the grid. He's up to 10th, and the race one winner, Chris Pither, is still 17th. He's only picked up one spot. Look at McLeod here. He's going to have to cover Ben Dunn as we get race 2 back underway. They'll all stay left here, and this is a recipe for drama.
It is. You'll see a couple of them go down the outside here and try to pick up some spots as it bottlenecks up on the inside. You see Walton's gone to the outside, as to is Hansford. See if they'll get around safely this time. Oh, Ben Dunn out wide.
Good to have him back this weekend. He's not run so far in 2013, but he's been welcomed back. I meant welcomed back. I left out the D on that one, but Stephen White's second spot. It's mad in the mid-pack. It's side-by-side stuff.
You're just waiting for something to happen here. You can just see it all bottlenecking up here in the mid-pack.
And that's why going on the outside is the best move. Look at Chris Pither's car. That black Commodore's got black marks all down the right-hand side. It's covered over the number, but we know which one he is still. Stephen White, though, looking racy up front. Back with Chris Walton.
I spoke to Chris just before this race. Obviously, he was involved in that incident in race 1. And I said, come on, mate, we need to, we need to see some action here in race 2 and get you up the front. And he says, mate, can you talk me up because I'm not fast enough at the moment?
He's not afraid to use the bumpers, Chris Walton. Round 1 in Adelaide, he really got stuck into it, gave us great entertainment. Now, this is Elliot Barber. His car's been rearranged. He's fighting for the Rookie of the Year award this year in the Utes. Was in the Dunlop Series for V8s last year. On board with Craig Donis, Thirsty Camel Commodore, and the Falcon.
Gone late under brakes too.
And that's opened the door for Reece McNally, the Stratco Commodore. He's had a really good year so far. He's been on the podium. He was third in Adelaide. He backed it up in Perth with another third. Second in the points coming into this weekend. And doing a really good job. He's done a couple of years now in the Utes and getting his head around it. Look at Ryle Harris. Down the inside. This is for 4th place.
He started 16th in this race.
This is good stuff. And we're not even halfway through.
Well, we'll see. No doubt we'll get to see some more action. Oh, as it's pretty hot out there. Here's some more in-car.
Craig Donis. Elliot Barber backs up, and that's... There's some damage to that car. And that's how Ryle got 3 and 1.
Yeah.
So that was the easiest work that he'll have done all day. Of course, Harris won the last race in the last round over in Perth at Barbagallo Raceway. Nathan Pretty here, Milwaukee Tools Commodore, opening round winner in Adelaide, had an engine go in qualifying in Perth. Here's Chris Pither in the 25 car. He's way back here. He's really struggled. He's had a drama. and just not really got moving at all.
Oh, and Jesse Dixon's got bumper bars and all sorts of things hanging off the back of his car too. So you can just see when you start from the back of the grid or towards the back, doesn't matter how fast you are, you're always generally going to get caught up into something. And that's why starting up the front is so important. And Chris trying to get around that outside again.
Yeah, and he got help.
He's going to do it too.
He got help because
maybe both of them.
White had a look down the inside, didn't get it done. McLeod looks to the side and thinks, hang on a minute, that's not White. It's Walton who has put the Falcon around the outside, side by side here. This is a worry. I don't like this. I don't like this. That's why. That's why. Front Yokohamas are cooking. White's back down the inside. Harris is in here too. He's got to be careful. Remember, he's the reigning champion, that tap-out #1 Falcon. He doesn't want to get involved in mischief here.
Oh,
like
here we go.
that.
He's going to pick up another one here.
The doors have just opened for him in this one. He hasn't done any work.
It was helped. It was definitely helped. But they're the passes you like to make. They're the easiest ones you'll make all day.
And we haven't even got to half race distance now, but it's Walton who leads the way, the Renko Ford. This is the car that's run by Rod Dawson from Queensland. He also looks after Ryan Hansford, who's just a bit further back in the order, 8th at the moment in the #6 car.
You see Chris over the curb, throwing this thing around. Gary Baxter having a look down the inside of there, coming onto the front straight.
It's been 12 months, Steve, since Chris Walton last grabbed a race win in the Utes Series. He won one at Barbagallo last year, so it's been a pretty long drought, but he's got a good margin here.
If these two guys, if Ryle and Stephen White end up fighting...
No! Front tyres are burning. Give him a plug and look what happens.
That could have been caused by the previous lap where he locked up here with the touch with Stephen White.
And it gets worse.
And it's going to be worse now. So you're going to find that Chris is going to struggle for the rest of this race, especially with those two front tyres that will be feeling terrible.
And Harris is up to 2nd from 16th on the grid in 7 laps. And going for the lead because Stephen White might not be able to hang on. Locks it up in the door. That's a bit rude, but it is a Ute race. But we have seen in the past those sort of moves go penalised. Now, Paul Stokel is the driving standards advisor in the Ute Series, and I remember Jack Ellsgood losing a race win here for something that didn't seem like much when he made a little bit of a tap and run passing manoeuvre late in one of the races here a couple of years ago. So as much as we talk up the Utes as being fun and a bit wild and a bit woolly, they do take it seriously in race control. So if you've gained an advantage by belting a bloke out of the way, don't expect to keep it. But that's a lot of distance that those tyres have gone for, being locked up and being ripped across the road.
You can just hear the tyre chatter as he's trying to turn into turn 1. That wasn't chatter,
that was a full conversation.
Yeah, you're right. And that's not. He's going to struggle badly with that. Here we go, roll down the inside, see if he can do it. I don't think Roll's going to get penalised for that tap into the hairpin because he actually didn't make that position.
Yeah, so. Correct. That's Kim Jane down the inside in the 27 Commodore, who ended up actually on his lead here down at turn 1 last year. But up front, these top two have skipped away. Stephen White leads the way. Remember the name. We've seen Stephen in the past, open wheeler driver who raced overseas. He was in Formula Holden and did all sorts of stuff, and was part of the original Holden Young Lions with Jason Bargwana and Todd Kelly and Mark Noski, and been a little bit quiet on the racing radar in recent years, but is really enjoying the Utes. McLeod gets unloaded.
Gone around, I think.
Oh, don't park there. Bang. Andrew Fisher, not his fault at all.
That's harsh. I think it might have even been done there that gave him a helping around. It was definitely someone behind him gave him a good shove on the inside rear.
And that is the leftovers of the radiator. Oh, Cam Wilson straight through it. And that'll be tricky because that's right at the exit of the hairpin.
Yeah.
That's going to need some clean-up after this race. We've got 5 more laps that they will clean it up with, but that's not good. That's bad news for Jared McLeod, who... Have a look again.
On the inside, bang.
He's going,
bang,
he's going, he keeps going.
Just kept pushing him, kept pushing him around, and
Andrew Fisher was behind Dontas and went left to get out from behind him and found a car right in his way.
Here we go. This will be a perfect shot here. Okay, move.
Just unveiled to him. Nowhere to go. Not Andrew Fisher's fault at all. And it's popped the front. He's popped the radiator in the Jesus Racing Falcon, so...
Bear Grylls isn't going to help him there.
Not even Bear Grylls can get out of this one. He's on the back bumper of that car. Tell you what, Stephen White's hanging on here. I thought Harris would have got him by now, but they've skipped away from Walton. How's Kim Jane? He's up to 4th and moving through pretty nicely. He finished 4th in race 1, so he's had to come from further back on the grid. Ben Dunn's out through the grass. David Cedars is through the grass. Hope they keep some action quota left for tomorrow's race that we cover, because this has been the wildest race we've seen from them in a long time. Yeah, they're going to certainly have their work cut out for them tonight, repairing all these cars. You see Fisher's car obviously parked up on the infield. It's going to need at least radiator and front support panels, etc. Now, Peter Burnett's gone around at the exit of the hairpin, so he's had a race of drama. He's been already in the sand, caused the safety car, and now had a spin, and there's plenty of coolant down there ready to catch the unalert or those who may have forgotten about it. Now, a side skirt's dragging on the Stephen White car. The front number plate sponsor panel of Newlon's rumping and falling off the front of Harris's car. Kim Jane slipped through to 3rd, and he started from 15th on the grid. So he and Harris have been the men of the race in this one. They have. I was going to say they've kept their nose clean, but they've been into each other as well. And cleanish. Yeah. So I think you can thank Royal Harris for that loose skirt on the side of Stephen White's car after that little altercation at the hairpin. Here's Reece McNally, Stratco Commodore, fighting with Ben Dunn for 6th spot. Baxter next, then David Cedars, who is pretty keen. He's never won the round here at Hidden Valley. Change of the lead. Harris has got the move done and gone on by Stephen White. So the championship leader, the reigning champion and the defending Darwin round winner, has got the #1 Ford back to the front. I think Ryle's very, very keen. I mean, I think you're going to see him here pull away. He was quite a bit quicker. He was all over the back of Stephen White. Here's the move now. Oh, White makes a mistake. He gave it away. He made a mistake, handballed it across, and Harris has slipped on by. There's been so much action in this race. I wanted to cover off the topic we mentioned at the start with you driving for Erebus. Dick Johnson Racing, you've announced that your enduro drivers will be Dale Wood and Ash Walsh, the current Dunlop Series points leader. It's a very inexperienced team to take to the mountain, but it's giving youth a chance. It is, and I think that's certainly something that we need to look and focus on at Dick Johnson Racing, is to get some young guys in to, I guess, build the business back around again. And this is definitely the first start of it. And I'm very, very excited for DJR and hopefully what the young guys can do up in Bathurst this year. 1 lap to go. This Ute race has been called a couple short, probably for everybody's own safety at the rate that this speed going. Chris Pither down the inside, Elliot Barber slow, Adam Marjoram in the Auto 1 #5 car sneaking on through. How's Barber's thing? Front right damaged, front left damaged, right rear damaged. I think there's the mirror that's okay. That's probably about it. Left rear hanging off. All 4 corners have had a go. That bumper bar, they're actually a standard plastic bumper bar. It's been torn open like a can opener, so you can just see the front of it here. It's totally ripped open. There's all the radiator coolant that you can see. Nathan Pretty trying to launch a move on the grass, and you know what? He'll actually get it done on Dontas down the inside for the next corner, but no one's been able to match Ryle Harris. I'll tell you what, this is one of his best drives. He has turned it on in this second race of the weekend. Stephen White made a mistake, and from 16th on the grid, Ryle Harris in 12 laps has managed to snatch the win and extend his lead in the Auto 1 V8 Ute Series point score. That is one hell of a drive. Well, that is a fantastic drive. And there's some biffo onto the front straight here. They're all keen to get down to this line. I wish I was in spare parts for Utes, Nathan Pretty. I would make an absolute packet today. They have lost the plot. Pretty's home in 13th. There's plenty of very furrowed brows, I would have thought, at the end of that one, but it's Ryle Harris who surfed through them all. Stephen White second from Kim Jane. Walton and Hansford next from Reece McNally, then David Cedars. Gary Baxter, Chris Pither, the race 1 winner, finally got his way up and through to 9th, and Adam Marjoram rounded out the 10. Phew, Utes, they turned it on. V8 supercars not far away. The 60-60 Super Sprint, race 17 coming up this afternoon.